What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review of Netflix's new series by R.L. Stine called Fear Street, Part 1, 1994. So first up, I never actually read any of the books, and I'm coming into this completely new. In fact, I don't think I even read any Goosebumps. I'm just outside that bracket. I do appreciate those kind of things, and I kind of wish that I could have read those things at a certain age. Fear Street was one of those books that was for an older age, so it's not exactly Goosebump friendly, if you know what I mean, for your kids. This is a hard R. So what is Fear Street Part 1, 1994, Part 1 of 3? It's about a circle of teenage friends who in 1994 stumble across a bunch of brutal murders that are wrapped up in this town, Shadyside, over the past 300 years. So it's something that's been affecting this town and basically feeding off of it for a long time. This is directed, written, and executive produced by Lee Janiak, who has done one feature film before this called Honeymoon and has worked on a few episodes of Scream, Outcast, and a show called Panic. The story is by R.L. Stine. It is also helped by Kyle Killen, who also helped write some of the story elements, as well as Lee Janiak. But it was also mostly written screenplay-wise by Phil Graziadei. I think I'm saying the name right. So what did I think of this film, and what did I expect from it? Well, first up, this is my second time watching it. The first time I watched it, I was a little tired, not in the best of moods. I thought maybe I should just wait to watch this whole thing and give it a fair shake, give it a fair chance to prove itself to me. The first time I was not too pleased. It was just okay. The second time, however, I decided to lock down, get really focused, watch this movie, and see what everybody's been raving about online, and see what maybe I might have missed. Well, it did change the second half, so I enjoyed the second half much more than the first, and that might have to do with some of the pacing, characters. I'm not really sure. The characters in this movie I wasn't too fond of. I feel like they're just kind of wedged in there as like borrowed character types, like already pre-made, like, oh, let's pick this one and put this one in there and make them happen. Which, you know, I'm not trying to be a dick about it when I say that, but it does feel kind of like not genuine. The acting's all fine. It just is not written in the way that embraces the viewer to bring them into this world in a certain way. They all have these sort of types that they're fitting into this mold that has been done before. Some of the characters, you know, that the strong one, the one that doesn't believe the other one, the relationship problems, the kid who knows everything. It's got these formulas of like strange things, like It, the miniseries, the original one, and the new chapters, and it kind of throws itself into the 90s, mixed in with a little bit of an R.L. Stine twist, and voila, you have 1994, you know, part 1 of Fear Street. Now, I'm kind of breaking it down simply there, but it is a little bit of a nostalgia grab, even though I didn't mind it. Seeing some of the things, hearing some of the music that were in the show was kind of a memory trip, but does it stand out on its own? Well, I honestly think some of the story in the very beginning dragged a little bit. Even though it was extremely brutal, the kills were extremely forgettable. For me, I don't know if that's because I've seen too many movies, I've seen too many slashers to really appreciate where this might be coming from. Supposedly, the director said that she wanted to mirror this one after Scream, the next one off of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then the following one off of that called a movie called The New World, which is by Terrence Malick, about some settlers or something like that. I don't know. But I didn't really get the Scream vibe from this movie. I did get a lot of Stranger Things vibes. There's a relationship in this movie, which is totally fine. It just, that didn't bother me whatsoever. In fact, I was kind of glad to see that. But it doesn't supersede that because the characters themselves aren't that interesting for me. Can I overlook this if there's a bunch of other stuff going on that's interesting? Sure. And it does pick up the pace and the interest later on. But for the most part, I was struggling a little bit to really kind of get my groove on. Like, I should be instantly in that groove within the first 5-10 minutes of the movie. And the fact that it took about 45 minutes for me to get into it, it says something to me. Now, for many of you, this might be some of your earlier films and you watch this on Netflix and you're just now getting into horror. Or maybe there's some kids out there that don't really get to watch horror and they're now watching something like this and this is like great to them. You're probably right because your opinions of what you enjoy are right. But mine are based off of what I've seen and what I feel this may borrow or not borrow from, as well as the characters that I'm introduced into. And I don't think they were really developed that well. So unfortunately for me, I didn't enjoy them as much, although by the end I kind of didn't want some characters to die and some did, and one of them dies in a glorious way. I won't say who, obviously, but let's just say, whoa, that was a different kill that I haven't seen done before. It harkens back to Intruder, Sam Raimi days. Like, that was a bonus, but that one kill does not make a great movie. It makes it a better movie, just not a great one. The story in this one kind of feels, you know, like it belongs in an R.L. Stine movie, sort of part cute mixed in with brutal. And I feel like this show is, or this movie is really brutal more than the books were, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe they got to edge it up a little bit just to get some interest in it. It is an R, so I mean, I don't know if the books were that strong or what they were, but for me, this one just kind of misses the mark a little bit. I am somewhat interested in seeing the other two movies, and that's part of why I'm doing this review right now for you guys, is so I can watch all three, and maybe I missed something, and the second one will prove me wrong. But as it stands now, whether it's trying to be Scream, whether it did become Scream or did something better, I honestly think it comes out to about a 6 or a 6.5 for me. It may be everybody else's like best favorite movie that they've ever seen, but for me, it's a little too bubblegum for me. But you know, I kind of expect that from the Goosebumps writer, but then it also confuses me because I'm seeing this like brutal fucking blood on the screen. So it's like still kind of keeping some of that cuteness and mixing it with some of that brutality, which I don't know is the mix for me. But we'll see what the second one does and if it's any better. Are you guys interested in this movie? Did you enjoy this film? Do you agree with me? Did it not hit all the points? Are you excited for all the other movies that are coming out, or were you kind of disappointed like me? I'm always happy to see a slasher film where all these different slashers come to life and start killing people. It just, at no point in time did I feel that threatened by any of the particular things going on in there. And it doesn't necessarily mean I need to be scared. It just means I need to be interested. And I just feel like there wasn't enough effort put into those serial killers to really make me invested in them being scary or threatening. Couldn't put myself in there with it. And so for that, that's why I have to give it the score that I did. But let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear what you guys think about it in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this review, please hit the like and subscribe button. We got plenty more on the way. So stick around. We'll be back. But as always, long live the void.